Do you want to change out your old 2-prong outlets for 3-prong outlets, but know nothing about electricity and have a giant fear of getting shocked? Well, look no further, because in this video, we're not only going to change out our outlets, but we are going to learn a ton of tips and tricks that are going to help you save money. Everything from what to buy, how it all works, and most importantly, being safe and keeping it up to code. By the end of this video, you will have the confidence and strong peace of mind to attack more jobs around the house. So I called a local electric company on Google and I got quoted $750 to change my outlet from 2-prong to 3-prong. I recently bought this house and it's built in 1950. So I definitely have some projects on my hands. There's a lot of electrical work to be done, as you can see from my inspection report here. But a good thing about electricity is you don't have to do it all at once. It's like windows. Usually people do their windows all at once, but you don't have to. Same with electricity. I'm actually redoing each room one by one, adding new outlets, adding the updated wire with the ground, getting rid of old hazardous stuff, putting together junction boxes, etc. But back to the 2-prong outlets. Back to my $750 quote. My house is only about 700 square feet with 10 outlets. So the $750, that didn't make too much sense to me. There's definitely people out there that don't know anything about electricity. They're very afraid of getting shocked and they have no problem throwing the $750 at it. Wouldn't be me. We're gonna do it ourselves. I did change out about 10 outlets when I first moved in here and it only took me about 2 hours. But what is a 2-prong outlet? Why is it here? Two things. It's from 1965 or earlier, and it's not grounded. There's no GFCI. GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter, and it's a safety measure to trip off the power of that circuit if there's a misfire. If there's a fault, and more often than not, that fault is going to be us. It's going to be me. But full disclaimer, I look at GFCIs like car airbags. In theory, they work. On paper, they work. They should go off, but sometimes they still don't. But with that, I want every circuit in my house to be grounded. I wanted to have a GFCI. Hopefully these never kick off, but I just want that peace of mind. When I was getting ready to buy this house, when I was putting in an offer, I wanted to negotiate brand new electricity. So I negotiated with the seller for brand new wiring, and it would have been about $10,000 to $12,000. They refused to do the brand new wiring, but instead of a rewire, we met halfway. We met with brand new circuit breakers, GFCI circuit breakers. The seller paid to have these GFCI circuit breakers installed, but I did still have that old cloth wiring. Paying an electrician to install these circuit breakers is about a $3,000 job. These circuits are expensive. The non-GFCI circuit breakers are 1/10 of the price. They're a fraction of the price. And if you don't have GFCI breakers and your wire is ungrounded, then I highly suggest installing GFCI outlets. You don't need one of these on every single outlet, just the one that's the first outlet from each circuit, the first outlet from the electrical panel. One GFCI per circuit. You do not want a GFCI breaker and a GFCI outlets on the same circuit. So let's get into it. First things first, we're going to need to turn off the power. It's going to have a number on it. 13 for my living room or my living area. And I highly recommend getting a Klein voltage tester. These are $20 and I will have links to the stuff that I'm using in the description below. And if you don't have one of these, just plug in something like a smartphone charger or anything that's got a 2-prong cord. And when I first started doing this stuff, I'd always second guess myself. I'd turn it off, check it, run back in, double check everything. You just want to get comfortable with this stuff. Red beeping means hot. Hot means live. Live means do not touch. Green means no power. Green means go, safe to touch. So now we can touch it and it looks great, both hot and neutral. Black wire's hot, white is neutral, perfect J-hooks. Shout out to the guy before me who put these on. None of the insulation is screwed under the terminal. That's a fire hazard. And here's what it's not supposed to look like. This is from a job I worked on years ago. So now this is all trash. The outlet is garbage now. We don't need any part of it. Instead of bending the copper back, I'm just going to cut it off and start from scratch with these cable cutters. Now you want to strip the insulation on these wires 3/4 of an inch. That's the move. 3/4 will allow you to be long enough so none of the insulation will be under the screw, and 3/4 will be short enough so that there's not too much wire exposed. And when making J-hooks, you want to use one of these holes on your wire strippers. You see that right here? This guy's down here. For the hot wires, you're going to be turning out. And for the neutral wires, you're going to be turning in. Both are going clockwise. Black's just going from 6 to 12, 6 to midnight. And neutral's going from 12 to 6. This is so when we screw them into the terminals, everything is going clockwise to tighten down. Now get out your 3-prong outlet and same rules. Black insulated wire is hot, goes to the gold or brass, and the white insulated wire goes to the silver. And if you're looking at the outlet face on, the smaller insert is the hot. I have a 20 amp circuit, so I can use a 20 amp or a 15 amp outlet. But if you have a 15 amp circuit, just stick with a 15 amp outlet. Remember that amps and GFCIs are different. GFCI should trip the power if something's off. Amps are going to trip the power if you're pulling from too much. If you have a whole house on one circuit, you're probably going to trip it. Actually, you know what? I probably wouldn't trip it. I live alone. I've got no roommates. I could probably run all 3 bedrooms off one circuit. TVs and computers use like 2 amps. It wouldn't even come close to 20 amps. Now, if I had a bunch of roommates that were playing video games and electric guitars, you know, plugged into tube amplifiers, and then yes, I would definitely need different circuits for those. So get your J-hooks on your outlet, and you might want to tighten them down with your wire strippers, and you want them to look like this. Very in there, very secured. And you might just have 1 wire of each, 1 black and 1 white, which means that's the end of a run. I've got 2 right here. That means power's coming into it, and then power's going to another outlet in my living room. It does not matter which 2 blacks go on those 2 gold and 2 white go on those 2 silver. Both look good, and let's put it back in here. And I like to use this bottle opener to make sure it's flush and even on both sides. I love this thing. Screw everything back on, and this is very important for code. You gotta put a sticker on here. If it's your house, it's your call, but if you wanna rent it out to a tenant, it's 100% necessary. Now turn the power back on, hit the circuit back on, and you're good to go. I'm gonna be doing a lot more electrical videos since I'm rewiring my entire house, so feel free to follow along for more videos. If you made it to the end, this part of the video, appreciate you.